Seriously, the more I watch of Heavenly Delusion, the more I seemingly am saying what in the actual hell, because the more I think I understand who might be who, or seemingly things that are happening between Heaven and Delusion, the more I come out saying the why. Why is it happening? Immediately when I saw this kid, Oma, I think was the kid's name, basically, we get a bunch of new, younger kids, and one of the characters that we've come to associate with whenever we're focusing on Heaven is Mimi Hime. And basically, we see the same glowing eyes that if we rewind a few episodes back when it looked like Kiriko was getting arms and legs ripped off, that monster that was just going right into your deepest and darkest fears, I was like, man, are they trying to go the route of saying that this kid that we're seeing in Heaven turns into that monster we saw in Delusion? But quickly, they almost made me second guess myself, and it wasn't until the second time that I really committed to that, because when Mimi Hime goes in and just is like, hey, I'm going to say no to this nightmare, and says, you know what, if everyone else is gonna run away or not get you, I will be someone where this doesn't get affected. I mean, it really has you second guessing what the purpose of this facility is, and seeing it completely destroyed, seeing Robin just chilling, and Robin's also throwing me for a loop, because really at this point, with how many characters either look like other characters or seemingly abilities linked to monsters we see, that jawline is looking damn near identical to the Doctor in Heaven. And I'm not sure if that's intentional, I'm not sure if they're trying to say that's the same person, hell, they're talking about brain swap in here. There's a lot of uncertainty, and we got a lot to talk about. Now, before we jump any further, have to mention, we do have that full live reaction if you want to see my mind kind of break in real time and all my spitballing ideas as they happen. You can head on over to the Patreon, consider supporting if you do want to see that live reaction. Now, first things first, I want to talk about what seemingly is going on with Grandma, because, not gonna lie, when Grandma started getting red in the face, and obviously we see she takes her pills and she's fine, I was almost like, hey, let's just, oops, oh, you're having a heart attack over there? Let's just, oops, I'm looking the other way, I didn't see it happening, because she seems a little psycho. Now, the whole idea of basically putting Grandma's brain in a kid's body, and then once that body gets to a decent enough age, we'll transfer it again to the proper body once enough times pass. I mean, Grandma doesn't seem like the nicest woman around, and seemingly the Doctor doesn't really look at her as the nicest woman around either. And it can't just simply be about preserving your life. Like, that probably is a bonus of whatever's going on at this facility, but I'm almost wondering if it is just simply we're trying to surpass human limitations, whether that's simply trying to outlive the mortal rate that we have of, you know, if you're lucky, maybe you get to 100 years, like 80 to 100 years. Maybe that's the whole point of this place. Or maybe it is simply to breed superhumans to fight wars. I don't know. But at the end of the day, whatever they're doing to these seemingly test tube babies, because if we look at how they're talking about Tokyo, who ends up having her baby, right? And the idea that apparently had twins, if we look at the one shot where it looks damn near identical. So I'm very curious if the reason all of these kids kind of look the same, because a lot of their facial features kind of like line up to one another, and the fact that they're talking about how, like, you know, we had a human on human baby, and that was like phrased in such a way that makes me say, okay, pretty much all the other kids here therefore are grown in a tube. I mean, we literally have a pregnant robotic mommy thing, so we can just assume that they take some DNA and they create things in that bot. I don't know, but seemingly whatever they're doing, you have to assume they're test tube babies. Earlier into this season, we had a character invade the space that they shouldn't go into, and we saw these like alien-like monsters in cradles, all things considered. So maybe some get born into just, maybe they try to make these superhuman babies. Some don't look like humans and turn into abominations that we saw episodes back, and then others maybe eventually grow into the monsters. I mean, literally one of our characters is saying, like, I feel like I see the future, and literally is looking at things either we've seen already or basically is showing signs, like the fact that I'm pretty damn sure that I think it was a TV. You're obviously seeing the image. I'm going off my own memory here. But like, there was that initial when she was getting like cut apart or whatever. Like, that was identical to what, 3 episodes back when we saw the whole Doctor storyline and the craziness that happened with like, please can you kill her? Like, it's pretty insane just how this is all seemingly lining up. But yet, despite being 11 episodes into this 13 episode first season, I still am so unsure of the why, and that's what's really exciting and pretty much why I've been avoiding the comments a lot more for these videos than most series, because I think it's a mixture of either manga readers pretending to be anime onlys or anime onlys who have been spoiled by theories from manga readers and basically are propelling things. So I've just been kind of avoiding it a lot more, because for me to be able to be this deep into an anime and really be uncertain, even though I'm pretty confident in things like the fact that this kid wearing glasses with the same eyes, that's probably the monster we saw episodes back, things like that I'm pretty sure of, but even then, I'm still so uncertain of the why things are happening, and that's really exciting for me. I mean, I love the idea that for anime, because it's very easy to predict a lot of anime if you've seen a decent amount, and that's why a lot of theories that I might propel on this channel can turn out true, because if you've seen enough, anime typically follows the same type of formula, so it's pretty easy to piece together things before they happen. But a show like this, I actually struggle, and that's a really rare feeling. It happens maybe once every few years when I cover anime, where I'm just truly stumped with the show, and that's really exciting for what they're trying to tell here, because it has that element of horror meets mystery meets what the hell am I actually seeing? And it's just so fascinating watching a world where you have these two perspectives and you never quite know where they're trying to go, all things considered, right? And I'm interested, right? Because at first I wasn't exactly sure if where Robin was chilling was indeed heaven as we know it, but the architecture definitely seems identical. And there was something that was pointed out to me last week, which I didn't clue into at the time, but there was two vehicles, right? So we saw at the end of last episode, that man got revenge, took his kid, drove away. And the idea of giving our characters, Kiriko as well as Maru, a vehicle is more than just what it appears to be at face value. By him stealing the second vehicle and driving away after murdering that person, it leaves him with no vehicle to actually follow after him, and I thought that was insane because I really didn't piece that together initially when watching. But when I read someone's comment last week saying that, I was like, oh my god, yeah, that's actually brilliant, because they have no vehicle to chase after him after he does have that murderous revenge. I was like, that's pretty crazy. I mean, all I can say is the more I watch this show, the more I'm excited for a rewatch. It's going to be like Attack on Titan for me, seeing a lot of the foreshadowing now and seeing all the little clues that I didn't clue into the first time. And the more I watch, I mean, I really hope this one's going to get a second season, because this is definitely going to become a show that if it's a couple of years from now and there's not even talk of a second season, you bet your ass this is going to be one of the rare cases where I actually read a manga, because I'm not really big into them, but this is a story that I gotta see to the finish line. And based on how much production IG was hyping up this one to be, like this was gonna be one of their best produced anime, I don't think you do that unless you plan to do more than a single season, but that's just my gut opinion anyway. But thoughts and feelings, theories if you got any. Like I said, I only really read the first handful of comments coming in because I feel like my comment section is trying to spoil me, but I'm just playing it safe because I'm loving this one so much. But I do like to read the comments I do get around to, so let me know what you're feeling down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, ring that bell so you can get notified when I upload more Heavenly Delusion on the channel. And as I mentioned, full live reaction to this insane episode is available on my Patreon if you're interested. And while you're there, you'll also get a video shout out. So today we have Dirtberg Jude, One Up Annie, Jeff, and Derek Nichols. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care and have a good one.